Where has Christopher Steele been since then? No one's known.
Don't want the outside from here.
So, let's just get to it.
So right now we're just going to be doing a driving scene.
So I'm going to pick a spot on there.
How do we film this
The difference between the 48 we did a few months ago and this one is specific to horror. So obviously it's similar to the other one in that you get in this case, a subgenre, and but you still get the prop, line, and characters that have to be included. We got comedy, and then we got voodoo witchcraft. So the character that we're mandated to include has to be a professional athlete. So that led us in the writing room to kind of talk a little bit about the fact I had a professional fighting career. So, what if the guy was a professional fighter? And then we kind of had to assimilate that into a story that also incorporated voodoo.
Well, sitting here until 3 in the morning trying to write a script about a professional athlete, we tap danced around quite a bit of ideas, but we immediately came to boxer, but then it was just a question of, well, what do we do with the boxer? Would it be a man fighting a fight of his life, trying to save his soul from a voodoo or witch or something like that? And just a lot of hashing. Like I said, we sat there with myself, Damien, Kevin Shepard, and Rob Merritt, all put in our equal share to make this story what it is, and it came out incredible.
We have our story picked out. I'm currently setting up our second camera. We have the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. It's going to be going on the gimbal.
Our gaffer, Nate, he was able to bring us a set of anamorphic lenses, but they only have a micro 4/3 mount. And so it just so happens that my camera, the Blackmagic 4K, has that same mount, so we were able to use those lenses which have qualities that I really appreciate in cinematography. And I was able to borrow another Blackmagic camera from a friend, so we were able to shoot 2 of the same camera, which really helps with coverage and speeds up the workflow.
I'm Rob Merritt. I play the interviewer, and he's the host of a podcast that focuses on boxing. And this is a really big get because I'm getting to interview someone who hasn't spoken to anybody publicly in 10 years. So it's a pretty big interview, and it's a pretty good story to get to tell. The 48-hour film competition really pushes everybody. It makes you have to be as efficient as you can. It reminds me a lot of, I used to work in newspaper journalism back in the day, where you would basically be writing a story and getting it done by that night. There was a deadline that did not change. There's nothing you could do about the fact that by 10 o'clock, things have to go. The press is not waiting for you.
It makes the job very easy. Rob is such a talented individual, and Damien's pretty okay too. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're both really talented actors. They work really well together, and it makes the job so easy when you can do one take and have what you need out of it. Oh, I love the crew. I mean, it's people we've worked with before, and like I said, it's an amazingly talented group. And the team is so versatile in what we have. There's always somebody to fill a need. We had Jeremy Tinder, who usually helps out gripping and setting up and tearing down, but this time he stepped right up and did sound for us. And within about one afternoon, he learned the gear and he did an absolute amazing job, and it sounded incredible. So we have a really versatile team that everybody can fill every role, and it makes it easy.
My favorite part of really anything, but particularly filmmaking, is when you tell me that either I can't do it or I'm not allowed to. So, yeah, guerrilla filmmaking. We have no permission to be there. That's my favorite part of filmmaking in general, and the 48 in particular. Because in the 48, it's not like 2 weeks earlier you're calling a guy and like, hey, can we use your gas station? Not really. Walking somewhere with like a nice rig set up and people are like, all right, yeah. Walk in there and act like you're supposed to be there, forget about it. You could put a scarecrow on the steps of a church, and as long as you're filming it, nobody says anything.
And that's a good way to put it, is guerrilla filmmaking at its best, right? Because all we had was one Blackmagic on a gimbal, bare bones crew, no audio. It was just, this looks cool, let's shoot that. That looks cool, let's shoot that. We had an idea of where these Scarecrows were positioned, and we knew we were going to be driving past them and maybe getting some still shots. So it was literally just me and Damien in the car driving around, trying to like get as far back into the seat as I could just to like get a clean shot of him, and then trying to rack focus on the gimbal as well as racking the ND filter to expose the outside correctly. Definitely challenging and frustrating at times, because if you miss that shot, you have to do a whole lap and go back to where you were. The film's gonna look amazing and the story's amazing, and so they're all gonna combine together and make a really cool film.
How do you feel about the lens?
I have a love affair with these anamorphic lenses, these Sirui Micro Four Thirds anamorphics. Mwah. Oh my God.
Responsibility-wise, I am making sure the paperwork gets signed. So not everybody's favorite part of making a production, but definitely an essential part. With the 48, you have so many different people that come in and out, so to a certain extent, do we have this? Yes. Do we have this? No. Who do I need to go talk to on the crew to get that? With 3 hours till sun sets, we need to make sure we get these outside shots done. Things like that are important.
I mean, we've got, between Walker and Shade, we've got such good makeup artists that produce such amazing practical effects, which are my preference when it comes to horror. You know, we all know what CGI looks like. No matter how good it looks like CGI. And our practical effects are legit.
Be making a Scarecrow look as though his eyes were gouged or poked out with the help of Shade. And we're also going to work on the cut over the neck and like some bruising.
Oh God.
That's the filter.
I had both eyes taped shut for probably 3 hours, and it's disorientating, and it's funny, it's claustrophobic in a way, you know, in that it kind of, there were at certain points kind of like panic almost.
So we'll just run the cables. For right now, Kevin, for the one you just placed, just run them like along the ground.
I gave Nate a few screen grabs of the movie Raging Bull with Robert De Niro, and I'm like, just do that. We auditioned a couple of lights for the overhead. We tried a panel light, then we tried more of a cone spill. We liked the cone spill better. We decided to haze it up a little bit, and we decided it was fine to see the light stands, because in a boxing match you're gonna see the lights, right? And so that sold just fine, so we didn't have to worry necessarily about hiding that. And so that was fun. We had more freedom to move with the boxers.
If he dies, he dies.
You need to plug him up even a little bit more because it's wearing off. I don't need to.
No, we're just getting him, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Training Will to box was great. The kid's like 17 years old. He's an A-level athlete. He's a kind, smart, respectful, motivated person, human being. The kid's fantastic. We spent a good hour and a half or so on it, and there were a couple times that I hit the kid, and he took it like a champ. I didn't hit him on purpose, I'm just saying. Here, boom, boom, and a good hook. That might be the end one, we'll see. And then, yeah, to be in an entirely different, uncomfortable environment, the kid performed like an absolute champ. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does in the future.
I really enjoyed the hallway scene that we shot. It was a shot that I've always wanted to do. It's actually from the movie Annabelle. It's a scene where a little girl takes off running, a door, like phantom door, closes. The girl busts through the door, but instead of a girl, it's an old, woman or a hag that's like chasing this girl. That scene, when I first watched it, really stood out to me because one, it freaked me out, and two, I'm like, how did they do that? Because it was seamless. And so I thought of a few different ways to get that shot accomplished. I had to talk, the directors into it. They were quickly on board because it convinced them that I could make it work, and then I had to figure out how to make it work. I didn't actually know.
Scarecrow rushes to the door as the door is closing.
So like have somebody
Bam, open, witches right behind.
So have like somebody lay down and push the door as the Scarecrow rolls.
Sure. Action.
But that was a fun problem to solve, and I think it looks great. Maybe sit.
For anyone who says that the 48-hour film festival isn't real filmmaking, it absolutely is, because you're still going through the entire process, coming up with the idea, scripting it, storyboarding it if you have time, casting it, actually running things with the actors, shooting it, being as creative as you can, and then of course the editing process.
I don't hate that, that felt flat.
Let me know if it's working, Jake.
It's working.
Dude, it's been 3 years, 2 weeks, and a day since I've gotten a piece of nail or anything left on my steps.
They hammered away and they made it look beautiful. It sounded beautiful. The color was beautiful, and I couldn't ask for better people to work on it.
Like, man, the amount of work put in, it was nonstop from the time we showed up and when we did it right. So I just want to thank everybody for all the effort that you put in, and we got a beast of a film coming. So normally we get a bunch of people, we all do fireball shot. Today it's me and Michael. I love you guys. Thank you again. So very, very, very pleased. Looking forward to seeing the film in a theater full of people.
Everybody loves each other.
I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say we love making movies, and thanks for this.
Oh shit!
And the winner of Best of Horror runner-up for this year is Scarecrow.
I want to start by thanking my outstandingly handsome co-director and co-writer, Damien Alamancino, back there. Daniels, editor Michael Huntington. Aaron, you still don't do anything.
Okay.
I'm kidding, you're behind the scenes, you're wonderful. No, thank you to the Mediaverse team. I got an amazing team, a great group of people that can run on caffeine and nicotine. They're outstanding people. Thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot Fireball. We run that too.
I would absolutely do it next year. This is the one time on our team when we get to do a film challenge, whether it be the regular 48, one-shot challenges, POV challenges. The team has been kind enough to give me that opportunity to make the horror 48 my thing and let me run with it, and I appreciate them for that.
Ooh, I think it represents Mediaverse very well in terms of what we're able to accomplish in a short amount of time.
I'm just so glad it's over. I, much like my wife, I love 48. If I did 2 things a year, it would be the 48 and the horror 48. If I did 1 thing a year, it would be the horror 48. And I love it, I enjoy it, but man, it takes some tread off your tires. Yeah, it was great. I think we put out a great product. I think we leveled up yet again, which is all you can ask of an individual or a team.